During the dry season, this is the time when our goats look their best. They are always looking so nice. They are always, the skins are purely white if you are looking after exotic goats. And if you have the local goats, their skins are always shiny. But we always face one particular challenge, especially among our babies, our kids. These are the fleas. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about enkukunyi or rugongo in Nyankore. These are tiny brown parasites that suck blood out of our goats. Some of you may not know them, but actually when you have them on your farm, they will not announce. Simply step into your goat pen and you will see them climbing on your clothes. Cause a lot of itching. They cause a lot of discomfort among our goats. Actually, if there is severe infestation of these fleas among your goats, especially the babies, these babies are going to become anemic. And when they become anemic, their immunity lowers. Just imagine a goat without blood, and maybe it happens to get pneumonia. When it gets pneumonia, saving it may be hard because its immunity is already down. During the dry season, the fleas multiply so fast. Why? Because there is a lot of dust on our farms. Usually when they attack your herd, simply step into your goat house, will climb any difficult places you have ever imagined, that because they are so tiny, you try to scratch it from one area, another one jumps to another area. You may end up running out of that house because it is really getting uncomfortable for you. That is the same discomfort our goats feel when they have the fleas. Usually, especially the babies, they have ruffled hairs at the back, near the tails, near the backbone. The hairs are always ruffled. And when you look closely, when you take a closer look, usually there is some little bit of reddishness because when they scratch, some of these fleas end up bursting and then they leave the blood on their skins. And usually a lot of wounds on the baby's skins, and also a lot of hairs fall off, especially around the ears and near the tail area. Some of you may be wondering, how do my goats get the fleas, especially in the dry season? Some of us on our farms, we have dogs. Dogs that we rarely spray. Dogs that we rarely deworm. These dogs carry around fleas anywhere, anyhow, that you end up with dogs mixing among your goats. Just one flea. Actually, they tell us one flea can give around 1,000 eggs in no time. So just imagine just one flea dropping in your herd. That is already something big that is going to multiply so fast in your herd. That is number one. Number two, when you keep poultry on your farm, chickens are one of the biggest carriers of fleas among our herds on the farm. The chicken, we don't spray them against parasites. All we have to do is bring them on the farm, but we do nothing about them. These chicken always carry about the fleas on our farms. And then also, some of us who keep local chicken that are always scavenging on our farms, when you look closely on the head of that chicken, especially around the ears, they usually have a lot of fleas scattered, especially around the eyes and around the head. What happens, just imagine just 2 or 3 fleas ending up in your herd, how much havoc they will cause. If these chicken are sharing the same space with your goats, definitely the fleas are going to end up in your goats one way or the other, and this is going to cause havoc among your goats. Most of us ignore. We always ask you to sweep your goat pens. Yes, some of you do it well. We always sweep our pens regularly, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and we accumulate a lot of droppings. So one mistake most of us make, you sweep your droppings and then put them a few meters from your goat pen. Usually, these fleas will definitely jump back to your goat herd. Still on this aspect of dropping the manure nearby your goat house, Usually, some of our goats are so naughty that they will walk through that heap of droppings you have just swept from your goat pen. So they will recycle, they will bring back the fleas to your goat house. And also remember, still on the same note, every time you sweep manure and you leave it outside there for quite some time, it usually accumulates a lot of fleas. The fleas become so many that they jump at every opportunity that even you as a person, as a farmer, if you are passing by that heap of manure, you will definitely catch some fleas and you may end up bringing them back to your goat house. Basically, this is why when you heap your droppings outside there and inside, they hide inside those droppings, they remultiply so fast because it is warm. When you heap the goat droppings, they generate a lot of heat. And have you wondered why they disappear during the rainy season? Because the conditions are not favoring them at all. Fleas will never multiply, or they usually die out, especially when the rains start, because it is cold for them. Always and always, when you sweep the droppings from your goat houses, ensure that you don't keep the droppings there for a long time. Either, if you are not going to utilize it anywhere on your farm, please sell it off or take it somewhere else, not near your goat houses. This brings us to our next point. How do you prevent, or if you are having an attack on your farm with this kind of parasites, how do you go about them? I've had this happen to me in 2017. It was not a beautiful experience. I watched my beautiful babies suffer a lot with a lot of ruffled hairs, a lot of blood on their bodies, and I couldn't do much. They became from beautiful kids, they became ugly babies. So as a farmer watching me, you have an attack from these parasites. What can you do? Number one, when you have this kind of attacks on your farm, number one thing you should do, sweep your goat pens regularly. Actually, if you have been sweeping your goat pens once a week, make it thrice a week. Remember, these fleas, they multiply so fast, and they multiply anywhere where there is a lot of dirt, especially where there is a lot of soil, where they can multiply so fast. So always don't give them that room to multiply. Number two, use pesticides. So get some of the pesticides we have on the market, spray the houses thoroughly well. Spray the goat houses, spray the walls, spray the floor, spray the compound. Do this at least 2 to 3 times a week. And also remember, when you use this pesticide, remember they are not supposed to be used on animals. So when you spray this goat house with a pesticide, make sure the goats are not going to sleep in the same place for at least 2 to 3, 4 days. Remember, these pesticides have side effects on our goats, especially if you spray them and you bring back the goats immediately. It may cause eye irritations to our goats. But I'm not stopping you from using the pesticides to kill the fleas in your goat structures. Something else I tried out in 2017 when I was hit by fleas is detergents. After you have swept your goat pen thoroughly well, remember I told you these fleas usually hide in the soil. They hide inside there, and that's where the multiplication occurs. So what we did, we mixed detergents like Omo, Magic, Nomi, Ariel. You mix any of your choice, and then spray the goat structures on the floor, the walls, the goat pen, everywhere spray. Why am I advising you to use these detergents, especially if you are experiencing fleas or you are about? Because most farms, during the dry season, this is one of the challenges that affects them, especially their babies. When you spray the detergent, it suffocates, when it's drying up, it suffocates the adult fleas that are on the ground or on the walls, because it has that sticky kind of element in it. And when it suffocates, most of them die. But I'm not saying that you will kill the eggs of the fleas, but you are reducing the population of the adult fleas in your goat pen. For those that are having this challenge on your farm, and the babies or the kids are having the fleas, go to our shops. You'll get dust. It is doo-doo dust. This is what we use most of us. Spray it or sprinkle it on the goat's bodies. But something else I also do that I did, that today if I put doo-doo dust, tomorrow I'll dip my babies in that particular detergent. Why? That detergent will help the hairs of the goats stick together and suffocate the fleas inside the skin, the hairs. And in one way or the other, the adult fleas would end up dying. I don't know what you have tried on your farm. This is what has worked for me. Let's share in the comment section and see what you have to say about this topic today. One thing you can also use is an injectable dewormer of your choice. There are quite many on the market. These injectable dewormers usually wipe out all the parasites, most of the parasites, be it ticks, be it fleas, be it anything that is attacking you on your farm, especially if it is attacking the skin of the goats, usually it will kill them off. So always, if you are under attack, one other thing to go to is an injectable dewormer. Don't always forget. And if things go out of hand, don't forget to consult other farmers or consult veterinary doctors. We don't want you to die in silence. These things have happened. They have happened to me. They have happened to anybody else. So always consult before your goats die because of fleas. It is shameful to hear somebody's goats are dying because of fleas. Thank you for watching once again. Grace Boji from Boji Farms. Let's keep it at Boji Farms. Don't forget to keep the discussion flowing in the comment section. We are always reading your comments and replying to those comments. And don't forget to subscribe and also click on that notification bell. Bye-bye.